Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco Dish Out on Movies, the only movie review show on YouTube to review movies in terms of food. And it's just Marco here to talk about Your Honor Part 9. And I liked it once again. I think that this episode was just thoroughly enjoyable. Although it did have a slow pace, I enjoyed the slow pace. I liked how it didn't rush through things, make everything so fast paced and to try to create drama. They just let the drama happen, even though it was, slow moving drama. And, that's not a bad thing. I mean, nowadays everything is so fast, fast superhero movies, fast any kind of movie. And so I liked how this episode was slower. It slowed down, had lots of character moments, it had lots of great moments. I think the thing that I really loved about this episode was that I love all the characters for the most part. And so every time I saw a character, another character on screen, I was like, oh wow, there's that person. I'm really happy that they're on screen. I can watch them for a couple minutes. Oh wow, look, there's that person. There's that person, and so whereas with other TV shows, there will be only like one or two characters I like out of the whole cast. To be honest, like I love them all basically. I mean, Fia, Jimmy. Jimmy was really good in this episode. I really liked him in this episode. Although he once again, I wish he would do something evil. Because he hasn't really done that much evil the whole season. And this episode, actually, Michael sort of says, oh, you wanted to do something evil? I'm going to do the evil thing because I'm at that point where I'll just do whatever the F I want and it could be like as bad as murder. Because, I mean, what happens to that guy? Basically, there's the guy who was with Carlo and who knew that he killed Kofi. He was going to be assassinated, and then he basically fled the scene and he went straight to the police so that he could make a deal and rat out everyone and everything that happened. And so Michael has to find a way to make it so that his testimony either will not be heard or it'll be forgotten about. And I loved what he did. I loved that plan, that surprise moment where he basically allows him to testify, because as soon as I saw the water glass, I knew what he was doing. I mean, come on. He hands him this water glass and he goes into this stupid little thing about like, oh, I'm nervous all the time, and I take a little sip of water every time I'm nervous, and it's like, you knew what was going to happen at that point. I had a feeling that would happen, and then of course, I mean, I think that the part that really is striking is when he goes back into his chambers and he's getting rid of the evidence and he's still wearing that judge's robe, and it makes him look really sinister, kind of like a vampire type of character. I mean, I really liked that. I thought that was actually kind of creepy, to be honest. I mean, and another thing that got brought up in this episode is that apparently Michael's wife was having an affair. And so, excuse me, now there is suspicion on Michael. I mean, there hasn't really been that much suspicion for me up to this point, sorry. But other viewers have suggested that Michael might have been the one who killed her. And after him knowing this whole time, I mean, that's a huge piece of information. And we thought that he was just making up that bullshit when he was talking to that gas station clerk. He was just making up a story, but I guess he was not. And he was like really like being honest. But wow, that just puts all the suspicion on him. I mean, whenever a woman is having an affair, you look at her boyfriend or her husband, whatever. I mean, it's just like, you don't look at the guy she's having an affair with first. You look at Michael. And then, so he basically, back to what I was saying about the rat. He made the rat basically overdose on pills. But what I'm wondering is what happens to him. They never show what happens to him. They never show if he's dead or anything like that. So I can assume that he's not dead, because I think if he was, that they would have brought it up and made it like a point, that Michael has now killed someone else. And he's directly responsible, just like with the blackmailer who he told Jimmy, basically, he knows everything, basically meaning kill him. So Michael's really evil at this point, as I've said many, many times. And it's unfortunate because Adam is not someone that I care about anymore. In fact, I never really did care about him, except for like kind of in episode 1, because we didn't know Jimmy. We had this sort of idea from the trailers and the marketing that Jimmy was this evil gangster guy. But honestly, Jimmy has proved himself to not really be that evil at all. I mean, he's just kind of mildly evil. But Adam is stupid as hell. I mean, I'm sorry, but he should not have double-crossed Franny. I just can't believe it how stupid he is. I mean, basically, Franny comes up to him and Fia, and she makes a scene. It's like a scene straight out of a 1950s sitcom type of TV show, like Andy Griffith's show, which I love. That's one of my top 5 TV shows. And she basically makes this little scene, kind of like, quote-unquote, subtly. Like, she doesn't go right out and say, "Adam, what are you doing with her? I am screwing you, and you need to stop it." No, she just, like, makes all these little stupid remarks to Fia, and then she leaves. And just Adam, the way that Adam just sat there, it's just, like, Adam is so stupid. He had this stupid look on his face, like he's like, and then he ends up, they have a little talk where basically Franny says, which I thought I agree with. She said that, you're not in love with Fia. You're fascinated by her because you killed her brother. And I thought, yeah, that's probably the case. And, he's 17 years old. He doesn't really know what love is at this point. It's the same thing with Romeo and Juliet. This is kind of turned into Romeo and Juliet a little bit at this point, where you have these teenagers who are really in love with each other, but their families are extremely against each other, and so it's like, they're fighting against the world so that they can be together. But the thing is that, just like with Romeo and Juliet, they didn't really know that they're star-crossed lovers. And with these guys, with these two, I mean, you got Adam, who killed her brother, and he's never told her, and he's basically used her so that he can learn more about him and sort of like feel better, because like, oh, I killed her brother, but I'm gonna be a good boyfriend to his sister, and then she's well, I don't think Fia's done anything wrong. I mean, Fia's kind of cool. I think Fia's one of the more likable characters. And so Adam is just, he's really effed things up. And so just the way that he acts, and even when with Franny, he acts really surprised and shocked that Franny would say, that she would threaten him and say that if he still dates Fia, that she's gonna tell everyone how he killed Rocco, and it's like, and Adam's like, what? What? Like, seriously, like, why is Adam so clueless? Is it just because he's 17? Are they trying to make it like, oh, since he's the youngest character, he's not the youngest, Eugene is, but since he's really young, he's stupid. Is that what they're trying to do? That's kind of stupid. Just Adam in general, this whole season, Adam has been a problem. As has Michael. And so, anyways, I loved all that stuff with Michael drugging the witness, and of course the disposing of the evidence, looking really creepy. And then in the second half of the episode, we get into Eugene, who he's really good at math now, and so he's basically come up with this money laundering scheme, which I thought was kind of cool. And I thought, okay, this isn't too bad. It's not bad. It's not great either. There's so many things I'm wondering about. It feels a little bit like this episode was kind of short. I think that's one of the only issues that I have with it, is that it felt really short and sort of rushed. In the sense that, like, next episode is the last episode, whereas to me it feels like there's like 3 episodes left that they should do. You know what I mean? Like, I really like this episode, though. I would give this episode an A. I would say that other episode I give an A, and then episode 2, and then I think there might have been another episode. Those 3 or 4 episodes have been my favorites. And so then we get into Charlie, which I got really excited when I saw Charlie, because I think that Charlie has actually become also one of my favorite characters. He's really good, and he should have been in Fargo season 4 to make that show better, because that show is a piece of shit. And he's with Adam, and it's so funny watching Adam tell him, and Charlie's like, like, this episode is basically full of people finding out information, and then they go like, like, I can probably count on both hands how many times that happens in this episode, where someone finds out something, and then they just go, I call it the Adam face. And they're also investigating the police and investigating into, like, the dirty cops, which is cool, because that's kind of been an underplayed element of this season. It was very present in the beginning, especially like with Kofi, the way that they tortured him and everything. And now it's coming back, like a lot of other storylines. And so I thought that was cool. And then, of course, I loved it when Charlie had that conversation with Franny. I thought that was probably my favorite scene of the whole episode. And then we get to the last part where it's all about Fia and Adam. And it's this little Romeo and Juliet situation where... Well, first they had a scene with Fia and talking about her religion with I guess he's a priest, whatever the fuck he is, and it was hilarious the way that apparently the priest was preaching about how Rocco was a sacrifice, like. I'm so... I'm sorry, but if that happened to me, and a priest came up to me and told me that my dead relative was a sacrifice and that all this other bullshit, I would have punched him in the face! Like, seriously, what was up with that priest? And he came there to talk to her about her beliefs and about her new boyfriend. I was like, what is going on with... Just... Oh my God! That priest is even more evil than Jimmy. I mean, Jimmy has hardly done anything evil this whole season, but that priest comes in and he's talking about sacrifice. Talk about evil. That's pure evil. Anyways. And so then, basically, Jimmy wants to meet Adam. And then Michael comes home. And Michael still doesn't know about Fia. Which I can't wait to see him find out so that he can go like, like Adam. And so, yeah. Anyways, I don't know if this has gone on a little too long. I don't know, it's just whenever I really like something, there really isn't that much for me to talk about because I feel like if I talk about it a lot, I'll just come off sounding like I'm like kissing up to the show. Like, oh, the show's really good. Oh my God, everything's so good. Oh, I love all the characters. Like, you know what I mean? I don't like acting like that because I feel like it makes me look like a fanboy, which I'm not a fanboy. If I don't like something, I'll say that I don't like it. And I forgot also to mention that Lee finds out that Kofi was taking his GED when Adam killed Rocco, and so that was a smoking gun type of piece of information. You know, there's no more Kofi did it all by himself. You know, Kofi is basically Lee Harvey Oswald of this story, and then of course Lee makes a face as I did. So, anyways, I really liked this episode. It was just completely entertaining. I mean, there's nothing really bad to say about it at all. Just the fact that I wish that there were more episodes because, you know, there's only one episode left. Isn't that sad? I mean, I'd love to just watch episodes of Your Honor for the rest of the year even. Like, seriously, it's that good. It's that entertaining. We need more shows like this that go to these dark places, that have these characters who aren't perfect people. They're real types of people. They can be evil. They can be good. They can be a mix of both. They can be like a zombie weirdo like Adam, or they can be like a really strong character like Lee. And you know what I mean? So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And also comment, subscribe, share the video with all your friends and family. All that crap the YouTubers tell you to do. Goodbye, everybody. See you soon for part 10. And then also after that, I'll probably be doing a season review. And people will probably hate me in that episode because I've been looking at the episodes closely, in detail, closely. But what's going to happen when I pull my perspective out to see the big picture? Am I going to give it a really high review? I don't know. I hope so. I'll have to wait and see what I do. So anyways, goodbye everybody.